Most people hit 45 and realize, for the first time, that they've been measuring the wrong things. They look at their salary. They look at their house, their car, their vacations. And on the surface, everything looks right. But here's the uncomfortable truth: wealth isn't what you earn. It's what you keep. And by 45, the gap between those two things is either compounding for you, or silently destroying you. Today I'm giving you 7 specific, measurable financial milestones that tell you exactly where you stand at 45. Not vague advice. Not motivational fluff. Real checkpoints. And I'll be honest with you about which ones most people, even high earners, completely miss. Let's get into it. Milestone 1, $0 debt, except the mortgage. The first milestone is simple but non-negotiable: zero consumer debt by 45. No credit card balances. No student loans. No car payments. Gone. I know a lot of people like to talk about debt as this sophisticated financial tool, leverage, they call it. A smart way to supercharge your wealth. I respectfully disagree. Here's the analogy I use: debt is like fire. Controlled and contained, it can serve you. A mortgage that builds equity. A student loan that funds a degree that pays off. Fine. But beyond that? It spreads. And it consumes the very wealth you worked so hard to build. Think of it this way: would you leave your stove on after you finish cooking? Of course not. You use it for its purpose, then you turn it off. Debt deserves the same discipline. And here's what makes this milestone especially urgent at 45 specifically: your 40s are the decade when everything hits at once. Your kids need more. Your parents need more. Your career demands more. You do not need debt sitting on top of all of that, adding financial and emotional weight to an already heavy load. By 45, no consumer debt. That's the standard. Milestone 2, hit the PAW target. The second milestone is about your net worth, and there's a specific formula I want you to use to check it. It's called the PAW target. PAW stands for Prodigious Accumulator of Wealth. It comes from Thomas Stanley, author of The Millionaire Next Door, one of the most comprehensive studies ever done on how Americans actually build wealth. His formula is dead simple: take your age, multiply it by your annual gross income, divide by 10. That's your minimum net worth target. 45 years old, earning $100,000? Your target is $450,000. Earning $200,000? Your target is $900,000. Now here's what makes this formula powerful. Stanley spent decades studying thousands of households, and what he found was that the people who quietly accumulated the most wealth were not the highest earners. They were the most intentional. He contrasted the PAW with the UAW, the underaccumulator of wealth. The UAW looks wealthy. The right car, the right neighborhood, the right watch. But underneath? Surprisingly low net worth. Because everything that came in went right back out. High income. Low wealth. At 45, in your peak earning years, the temptation to match your lifestyle to your income is at its strongest. The house upgrade feels justified. The car feels justified. And maybe some of it is. But every dollar spent on lifestyle in your 40s is a dollar that isn't compounding for the next 20 years. Run the PAW formula. Be honest about where you land. Real quick, drop a comment below and tell me, did you run the PAW formula just now? Are you above it, below it, or right on target? I read every single comment and I'd love to know where you're at. Now let's keep going. Milestone 3, a clear investment strategy you actually understand. Third milestone. And this one exposes more people than almost any other. Here's a question I want you to answer right now: honestly, can you describe your investment strategy in plain English, without jargon? Not the fun names. Not the story of how you picked them. Just, what do you own, what is it costing you, and why do you own it? Most people cannot answer that. Not because they're not smart, but because life got busy. They enrolled in their 401k 15 years ago, made some selections in a 20-minute session, and never looked again. By 45, with a portfolio that has been growing for 2 decades, that allocation you set at May 30th no longer fit your life. And the fees quietly embedded in those funds? They've been compounding against you just as steadily as the market compounded for you. Here's what to do. Log into every account you own. Take full inventory. For every fund, ask 3 questions. What is this actually investing in? What does the expense ratio cost me in real dollars? And why is this in my portfolio? You don't need a complicated strategy. You need one that you understand, that reflects your risk profile, and that you chose deliberately. Milestone 4, 12 months of emergency fund. This is the milestone most people miss, and it's the one I feel most strongly about. At 45, the standard 3 to 6 month emergency fund isn't enough. I'd argue you need 12 months. Here's why. At 25, you had fewer assets and fewer dependents, fewer things that could break, fewer people counting on your income. At 45, you have a home that needs maintenance, multiple cars, kids who need you constantly, and parents who may need you financially at any moment. And here's the part people forget, most of your wealth at 45 is locked. The money in your 401k and Roth IRA? You can't touch it without a penalty. Your home equity? Not liquid without a loan or a sale. So where do you keep 12 months of expenses? Two great options. A high-yield savings account, simple, FDIC insured, accessible. Or a money market fund through your brokerage, Vanguard's VMFXX, Fidelity's SPAX, or Schwab's SWVXX. Comparable yields, liquid within a day or two. The question at 45 is not whether an emergency will come. It's whether you'll be ready when it does. Milestone 5, 800 plus credit score. Fifth milestone, an 800 plus credit score, and you want it before you need it. A mortgage refinance when rates drop. Access to the best cards. Better insurance premiums. You may never use it, but the day you need it and don't have it is not the day you want to find out. 5 things keep you above 800. Pay on time, every time, that's 35% of your score. Keep credit utilization below 10%, not 30%, the scores that clear 800 consistently live below 10%. Don't close old accounts carelessly. Limit hard inquiries. And check your report regularly. The FTC found that 1 in 5 Americans has an error on theirs. 2 decades of credit history is behind you. An 800 plus score should be the result. Milestone 6, essential insurance coverage. Milestone 6. And this one could literally save everything you've built. A study in the American Journal of Public Health found that more than 2/3 of personal bankruptcies in the U.S. are tied to medical events. Not reckless spending. Not bad investments. Medical events. People who had retirement accounts, mortgages, careers. One event erased it all. By 45, you need 4 baseline protections in place. Health insurance, matched to your family's actual medical needs. If you're healthy and low utilization, a high deductible plan with an HSA is smart. If you have ongoing conditions in the family, make sure your coverage reflects that. Auto insurance, and the word to focus on here is liability. You may be able to replace your car. What you can't always predict is the cost of a lawsuit if something happens to someone else. Homeowners insurance, reviewed for where you actually live. Fire-prone area? Verify fire coverage. Flood zone? Same. Term life insurance, in an amount large enough that if something happened to you tomorrow, your family would be taken care of. Mortgage, education costs, living expenses, covered. And if you're self-employed or your income would be difficult to replace, disability insurance belongs on this list too. Milestone 7, a complete estate plan. The final milestone, and the one most people keep putting off. A 2025 study found that 55% of Americans have no estate plan. And the age group with the lowest participation? 35 to 54. The exact group with mortgages, kids, retirement accounts, and 2 decades of accumulated assets. The exact group for whom the absence of a plan causes the most damage. Here's what that absence actually looks like. If you die without a will, a court distributes your assets according to a formula written by a legislator who knows nothing about you, your family, or what you wanted. If you have minor children, a judge who has never met them decides who raises them. That's not dramatic. That's just the law. By 45, you need 4 documents in place. A last will and testament. A durable power of attorney, someone designated to manage your finances if you're incapacitated. A healthcare directive specifying your medical wishes. And updated beneficiary designations on every retirement account, insurance policy, and financial account that allows it. And if you want to go a step further, if you have meaningful assets and young children, consider a living trust. It allows your assets to pass directly to your beneficiaries without going through probate. Less time, less cost, less chaos. My wife and I kept putting this off. It felt uncomfortable. Sitting down to write a will means facing your own mortality, and nobody wants to do that. But the discomfort of writing it is nothing, compared to the chaos of not having one. So there they are. 7 milestones. 7 honest checkpoints for where you should be by 45. Here's your assignment, go through the list. Check off the ones you've hit, and pick one, just one, that you're going to take action on this week. Drop it in the comments below. Tell me which milestone you're working on next. I want to know, and so does everyone else watching this. We're building something together in this community, and your comment might be exactly what someone else needed to hear today. And if this video gave you something real, something you're actually going to use, hit that subscribe button. Because this is what I do. Every week, practical, honest conversations about building real wealth, no hype, No gimmicks, no shortcuts. Just the slow, steady, unglamorous path that actually works. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.